Hey, wrestling fans, Brian Crazy F from True Wrestling, back at you with this week's SmackDown results for January 21st, 2011. We see the show start with the former members of the Nexus, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, Wade Barrett, and their newly joined partner, Ezekiel Jackson, who, from what sources that I've heard, he's going to be going by simply just Ezekiel now. I guess not a huge change, but just a piece of information for you guys. So you see these four guys start the show, which, big information, these guys now have a new name. They're not going to be, the Nexus Blue, or the Nexus this, or the Nexus that. They're going to be referred to as the Corre, C-O-R-R-E. Is it in reference to the core members of the Nexus, or the former core members of the Nexus? Because, the only originals left in the Raw Nexus is David Otunga and Skip Sheffield, who's still out on injury. And so you see them come out, they're cutting their promo, this, that, and the other. Teddy Long comes out and, asserts that he is the one that's in control of SmackDown. And, he talks down about the Raw general manager. Obviously Teddy's still, in charge of the show. He's still there every week. The Raw general manager, due to fear of being attacked by the Nexus, communicates via computer, which is probably the worst angle in the world. One of my viewers said it, and I do agree with him. We need Jericho back to tell Michael Cole to shut the hell up. Then we see Alberto Del Rio come out and talks about how it is his destiny to win the Royal Rumble match. No one has broken into the WWE as strong as Alberto Del Rio in 2010. We saw Sheamus break in big, but that was more in 09. And if you follow him, if you watch some of his stuff, he's a fantastic competitor. Dos Ross Jr. in Mexico, down in the AAA. Check it out. His father's also a Lucha Libre legend as well. Dos Caras, check him out. Then we see Alberto Del Rio face R-Truth. We see Teddy Long cut out. They cut to a backstage segment where we see Teddy Long knocked out. He's taken away by stretcher in an ambulance. We see Alberto defeat R-Truth by submission. I assume this is the cross armbar, but unfortunately that wasn't included with the information that was sent over. Then we see Beth Phoenix defeat Layla in a women's competition. Then we cut to Rey Mysterio backstage. To follow that, we see Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler walk up to the new Nexus. Nexus says they had nothing to do with the attack on Teddy Long, and they offer to help out. Vicky wants the new Nexus to take out Edge for Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler is the number one contender. By taking out Edge, that will give him the advantage of winning the championship. Then we see Rey Mysterio face Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one bout. Rey Mysterio picks up the win via 619. Then we have Josh Matthews in a backstage promo. He gets interrupted by The Miz and Alex Riley, though. So we see a little more, interpromotional going on here. I think the WWE is feeling more comfortable with this. I've spoken about this in previous videos. This is the direction they need to go. It's alright to keep the brands. It's alright to have the top stars on either brand. And, the mid-carders, because, the mid-carders always build a great promotion. And I believe that from back in the day. I think that's the one thing that made WCW so popular in the late 90s, was the mid-card was so solid. The NWO angle was very good, don't get me wrong, and we had some great champions, Nash and Hogan, but some of the booking incidents were controversial at best, to keep it at that, not to stray too much. But I really, really, really feel like the mid-card was where it was at, and, to have a great mid-card is really what matters. And speaking of a great mid-card, we'll come up to that in 1 second, but very, very interesting surprise. Jim Ross, he is from Oklahoma. He popped in for a minute, and he comes out for an interview. He gets a huge ovation from the crowd. Of course, everybody loves JR. We want him back so bad, and I don't understand Why they don't see that, I'm sure the travel schedule is just starting to get to him. He's having separate bouts with Bell's palsy. And Jim Ross, fantastic commentator, fantastic backstage personnel. He's good all around. So it was very cool. It's going to be very cool to get to see him on TV. Unfortunately, I had not actually seen footage beyond some fan cams. Fellow native Jack Swagger, who's also from Oklahoma, comes out and starts ripping about the state. Jack Swagger is kind of like lost in the mix right now. Is he in the mid-card now? Is he going to be back in contention for the heavyweight title? I mean, how does he fit into the picture with Edge? I mean, this is, is this going to go to Dolph Ziggler? Then we're going to see Dolph, Kofi, Swagger in more of a contention for the WWE Championship. I mean, that's changing the whole dynamic. They're basically handing this to the next generation, starting to hand this to the next generation if they do that. I really have that feeling. And I think Edge still performs fantastic, but I mean, how many times can you do Edge versus Kane, or Kane versus Undertaker? I mean, yeah, these are legendary bouts that will not be forgotten, but at the same time, there's we'll get back to SmackDown. Then we see Swagger versus Kofi in an amateur wrestling match is up next. Like I said, this is where the mid-card shines. Jack Swagger defeats Kofi Kingston in the amateur wrestling bout. After the match, they brawl, and Kofi kicks Swagger in the head to end it. So are we going to see Kofi come out with a little more of a mean streak, a little more of a heelish persona, kind of like he had off the beginning? Only time will tell. Then we see Drew McIntyre go against Trent Beretta. He defeats Trent Beretta. At post-match, he goes to try to shake his hand. Trent declines. Drew then attacks him because he feels offended. Kelly comes out and checks on Trent, kind of pissing off Drew. Anybody that knows the truth is Drew is married outside to a former diva. I think it's Tiffany off the top of my head. I can't remember, to be honest, right now. But, it's an unrealistic angle. I mean, yeah, this was the angle that was written for her. I mean, if you guys had read into information on it, so whatever they want to do. Then we see Edge versus Justin Gabriel's up next. Dolph Ziggler's on commentary. Barrett, Slater, and Ezekiel all get involved in the end of the match. It was a good match. Edge fought them off, but Jackson clotheslining him, allowing Gabriel to get the win. They all enter the ring and attack Edge. Dolph Ziggler comes out and goes to attack Edge, but Kofi Kingston and Edge make the save. SmackDown ends. So I guess the biggest thing coming out of the night is we got to see Jim Ross for a little bit. We got to finally find out the name of the new Nexus, and they are firmly on SmackDown. They are the Corre, C-O-R-R-E. I guess only time will tell. Hopefully we'll get to see a confrontation between CM Punk's Nexus and the Corre at WrestleMania. That's about it for this vid, guys. Thanks for checking it out. For F and True Wrestling, this has been Brian Crazy, and have a great day.